Hey Warrior fans, I'm Nate Alberts with WLCSports.com. Time to preview the 2013 baseball season. I'm joined here by fifth-year head coach Dave Reineman. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yep, thanks for having me.
You finished 2 games shy of qualifying for the 6-team Northern Athletics Conference tournament last year, surprisingly with a young team. Does that motivate the players to get back to the tournament, hopefully get to the tournament this year?
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, that is one of our goals, and I would say even one of our expectations, something that we expect. As you said, last year with a young team, the guys were able to make a run and played better baseball as the season went on, so something definitely to build on, and that's an expectation along with winning 20-plus games this year, and getting into that conference tournament and then seeing what happens from there.
Having that young team and this year, 2 seniors on the team, how have the young guys matured from last year to this year?
Yeah, one, just getting playing time, is in any sport, getting that game experience, for hitters, having college at-bats under their belts, for pitchers to, getting that experience, adjusting to the college game. So really with that, that a good talented group of sophomores who last year were going through it the first time, now they have that year, so definitely good. You mentioned our 2 seniors, obviously with 3 years of experience, and a good group of juniors too.
Okay, let's get to know your team a little bit here.
Sure.
Starting on the pitch with the pitchers. Fortunately, you won't have Alex Draver this year, who recently had shoulder surgery. How big of a loss is that for the team this year?
It's definitely going to hurt not having Alex. He was our ace last year, and there's no getting around that. Thankfully, Alex has had his shoulder surgery and a successful surgery, and he's starting the healing process and the rehab process. He's been around the guys, so that'll hurt. That does give an opportunity for other guys to step up, and there are guys who have good potential, and really now they're going to need to, and they have that ability to step up and take. We aren't looking to replace Alex, but really to step up and to take that role, so that goes to our 5th starter, bumping up, and everyone bumping up, and so guys are capable of that, and they're excited for it, and now we'll see how that shapes out.
We obviously wish Alex Draver a speedy recovery. Talking to him a little bit, surgery did go successfully. He is, I believe it's redshirting this year.
Yeah, in NCAA Division III, actually it's a medical hardship. There are no red shirts, but yeah, so he'll be able to get this season back on a medical hardship, and actually so he will, if that goes well, he still has 2 years of eligibility.
Okay. So who can we see on the pitching mound? I know you have Alex Nikolai back, Jimmy Paulman back. Who are some of the other guys that we could see? Because you said next guy's got to step up. Who else can we see? Yeah,
you'd mentioned Jamie Paulman, who's had a good year as a freshman, but definitely has improved, has that year of experience under his belt. We also have Sam Mathice, who will be playing infield for us as well, but Sam has as good of as arm as almost anyone in the conference, and really has the ability to do good things as a pitcher. Sam now also a sophomore. We have a freshman in Josh Ruppel, who's a good talent, really has some good ability. And as you mentioned, Alex Nikolai, Scott Rivers is someone that we're looking for as a starting role as well as a relief role. Joey Hodkowitz, another one of our infielders who will be starting some games for us. So there are a handful of guys, and also some other guys, Andrew Iverson in a relief role, a few other guys that will be coming in relief. Garrett Day, who didn't pitch last year but pitched as a freshman and had a solid year. We'll be getting Garrett back on the mound here, and so again, that's the role, and some opportunities for those guys to step up. Okay,
let's talk about the guys that are going to be catching these pitchers. Yep. Tyler Shane can play multiple positions, but he is probably his best position is behind the plate. Caught most of the games last year. And with him being one of the 2 seniors on the team, what leadership style does he have, and what makes him, what makes him a good leader for this team?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One, and I think the best leaders lead by actions, and and that's something Tyler definitely does. That he doesn't get loud too often, but when he speaks, definitely the guys listen to him because they respect him, because they see Tyler doing the right thing, you know. And again, whether that's in practice and getting equipment, and whether it's in a base running drill, going all out. So that respect factor is there. And the other thing that you mentioned, having Tyler as a catcher, the pitchers love throwing to him. He knows the game, he understands the game, calls a good game behind the plate. So the pitchers have that trust factor with Tyler.
Okay. When I just talked about with Tyler being able to play other positions, that opens the door for Corbin Biersack to get more time. He caught 14 games last year. With Tyler being able to play other positions, how important is it to have a solid backup in Corbin? Yeah,
it's very important. And as you know, that out of our 40 games on the schedule, 38 are part of doubleheaders. Yep. So just with 2 single 9-inning games. So we almost look at it that we have 2 starting catchers. So Corbin's definitely someone that'll be able to get in there, and you know, we're expecting good things from Corbin, as well as Jake Clemmy, who's a freshman and real good behind the plate. So we're looking for Corbin and Jake to get a good amount of innings behind the plate.
Okay, let's talk about one of the team's strengths this year is your infield. All 4 returned from a season ago. Senior Doug Martin was penciled in to play first base, played there last year. Same kind of question about when we were talking about Tyler, is what does Doug's leadership and experience bring to this team?
One, I would say his experience, as you mentioned, Nate, just having a good number of college at-bats under his belt. You know, we're looking for Doug to hit in the middle of our lineup. He knows how to hit at the college level, can drive the ball. You know, should be a good year for him. God willing, he stays healthy and is able to produce and really get a lot of RBIs. So that's one thing, definitely. And Doug's the type of guy that has a pretty good feel of the team. You know, he knows when the guys need to be motivated. He knows when maybe to crack a joke and keep guys loose. So he brings that, which is important.
Okay. We mentioned Garrett Day pitching a little bit, but last year he had to fill in after Justin Barkhurst graduated, and he had to fill a huge hole at shortstop. He had a pretty good year. He was named All-NAC first team. He returns and will resume the role at short. He was one of the most consistent players from the season from last year.
Yep, he was. As you said, Garrett made first team all-conference at second base, actually, and that's where we're looking. He had started last year at shortstop, but we found we're a better team with Garrett moving over to second, so that's where he's penciled in this year. And again, Garrett will be definitely getting some innings on the mound, so that's where our infield depth comes into play too, that we feel real good about.
And he did have a pretty good year hitting wise, top of the order guy, leadoff guy.
Yeah. Garrett's a good number 1 or number 2 hitter, you know, in our lineup. Good speed. You know, we're expecting Garrett to steal a good amount of bases. You know, good chance to break the school record for stolen bases. And yeah, just a guy that can get things going for us as a team.
Okay. We mentioned Doug, mentioned Garrick. Who are some of the other guys that are going to be in that infield? And we got Taylor Meyer. Mm-hmm. Who else do we have? Or who else do you guys have?
Kind of rounding out the infield. We have Sam Mathice at shortstop. And again, as we talked earlier, Sam will definitely be getting innings and significant innings and starts on the mound. And then at third base, we have Brandon Mance, who's coming back off of surgery, but really looking strong and feeling good. And you mentioned Taylor Meyer, who can play first base and third base, will DH for us some this year as well. Really brings a good bat to the lineup, gives us some flexibility. Aaron Raisler is a first-year player for us, and Aaron's real solid, so we look for Aaron really to fill in at second and short when Garrick and Sam are pitching, and also to get some time at third. You throw in Joey Hodkowitz into that mix, who does a good, solid job. And then some younger guys in Mitch Scarbin, who's a real good freshman athlete for us. And we have Jared Pfeiffer, who can also do some things, and Ben Renicky are younger guys, but give us some versatility and a little depth across the infield.
Okay. Finally, let's take a look at your outfield. Brett Youngbeck, freshman last year, all freshman team, led the team in hitting. Good athlete. He's also on the football team. What position will we see him at this year?
Yeah, it's looking like Brett's going to be starting out in left field for us. Last year he moved around a little bit, played mostly right, some left field, DH'd a good amount, but we feel last year when Brett came in was a high school catcher, actually. So we had him catching, playing some second base, outfield, really to get his bat in the lineup. But this year we look like to give him a home out in left field.
Okay, who else will we see in the outfield this year?
Yeah, then some other guys definitely competing for spots. You know, you mentioned earlier that Tyler Shane plays multiple positions, and one would be the outfield. I'm looking to get some time in right field when he's not behind the plate. We have Connor Vredeveld, who had good experience last year as a freshman out there. We have Derek Kermody, a first-year player for our program. Derek had transferred in, a good athlete, a good player. Matt Gowan, who's also really a spark plug at the top of the lineup for us, maybe at the bottom of the lineup, kind of a second leadoff hitter, plays a real solid outfield, along with some other guys, Zach Sager and Evan Teskey, round out and give us some depth out there.
Okay. Finally, leave for Fort Myers, Florida. You guys leave tonight. Play 8 games in 6 days. How eager are you guys finally to be out of the gym and head to warmer climate?
Yeah, it'll be great. As a coaching staff, we love the time inside. We can help the guys with fundamentals, but there comes time where you're ready to go, and the players have been ready to go, I think, since week 2. We were talking just last night with some of the guys and looking forward to be able to hit with a blue sky in the background. So it'll be great. The guys are excited and ready to go and play some real games here.
Speaking of your coaching staff, you have 3 new coaches this year. What do those guys bring to the table this year?
Yeah, thanks for asking that, Nate. And actually, we're really blessed to have the coaching staff that we do. We really feel we're able to help our players. Again, our program's about absolutely being successful, and winning baseball games, but definitely about helping our young men reach their fullest potential, as people, as students, and as baseball players. And we're blessed, like I said, to have a staff that really gets that and really helps the guys in all aspects. So our coaching staff, it starts with Tyler Schmidt, our associate head coach, who does great things, working with our pitching staff, our base runners. Tyler definitely wears a lot of hats, but really is dedicated and loves the game and really puts his heart and soul into it. We have Kyle Adelheber, who's a returning coach, obviously a player, real good player in our program. Kyle's kind of our versatile coach. Does a lot with the strength of conditioning, really has a passion and a knowledge in that area. Also, was an infielder and an outfielder, helps with the hitters, so really versatile in our staff. And then you mentioned our 3 new coaches. We have Rod Hedrick. Ron actually was the former teammate of mine way back in the day. Ron works with our catchers, but also really knows the game. And he brings some veteran, as far as the coaching staff to our team, which is really good, and just kind of a settling influence and really gets it. And then we have Cody Griebling, who's a real good player, plays professionally, independent ball down in Schaumburg. With the Schaumburg Boomers. They don't start their season till later, and Cody does great things working with Coach Schmidt with the pitching staff, and the guys really appreciate his knowledge of the game. Cody's, younger for a coach, just 25 years old, but really, again, a guy that really understands the game, understands pitching, so it's great to have Cody. And then we have Max Cordio, and Max helps with our hitters too, and Max will travel in from Madison a few times a week typically, and really helps fine-tune our hitters. So again, we're blessed to have that coaching staff and really to help our guys.
Okay. Well, there you have it, Warrior fans, the 2013 baseball preview. Coach, best of luck in Fort Myers. We'll talk to you in a week.
All right. Thanks, Nate.
I'm Nate Alberts with WLCSports.com. Go Warriors.